Hello, Dave Gibson here from Third Wednesday Magazine, once again presenting a reading from one of our contributing writers. Michael Minassian is a graduate of Dumont High School, Fairleigh Dickinson University, and California State University at Dominguez Hills. He was born in New York and has lived in New Jersey, California, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas. Professor of English for 30 years at Broward College in South Florida. He also taught in Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Jamaica, England, and served as a consultant in Spain and Ecuador. And now here is Michael Minassian.
Hi, first of all, I want to thank David very much for giving me the opportunity to read from my new book, 1,000 Pieces of Time. I'm not sure if that's backwards or not, but it's 1,000 Pieces of Time. And I'm going to get started right away. First poem is called Achilles in the Underground. It's been a while since I rode the subway, and I'm surprised to find Achilles riding downtown wearing a short tunic and bright, shining armor. Like many riders, he's scowling. But this is the underground, and he may not be the only one who's unhappy or dead. When the lights flicker and the train stops between stations, I notice the other passengers as he shift nervously as he lifts his sword and gets to his feet. But he's only giving up his seat to an old woman, all in black, like the widows of Troy, dressed like crows before they leapt off the wall. This next poem has an epigraph from Hamlet, and it's called The Hills of Memory. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but not what we may be. Ophelia. In the evening with the sun gone, I could see the stars appear one by one, then in pairs. Trees deep dark green, stark against the disappearing gray, silhouetted like the hills of memory. There, near a row of pines, feet cushioned by the dewing grass, I thought of the owl that was the baker's daughter. Was she chaste as a bird? The heat of hunger in her breast, chasing prey at night, the push and rush of wings as currents of wind stroked back feathers, talons out, sweeping low to the ground, striking and feeling the last frantic beats of some creature's heart. Beak parted, eyes so wide she could almost fly backwards through her sight. At that moment, did she remember all the way back to her other life, the smell of bread, the taste of sweet cake? This next poem is called Darwin's Beard. As a young man, Darwin kept his beard neatly trimmed, stray hairs and fingernail clippings preserved along with insects and frogs' legs. After returning in the HMS Beagle, he ran out of jars. Fossils and stuffed birds kept in rooms throughout the house, ignoring the complaints of his wife Emma and the Anglican Church. All the while, his beard grew whiter and longer. When he slept at night, his beard stretched to the next room and out the door, forcing his gardener to mow lawn and beard at the same time. Careful not to disturb the nesting of gulls or Emma's bone and ivory combs. In dreams, he thought he heard God cough through his beard, rimmed by dinosaurs, doves, fossil wings, and angels braiding hair. This next poem is called Helen of Troy at Trader Joe's. Shoppers and staff all turn to stare as Helen of Troy walks the aisles, checking for organic products and fills her basket with golden fruit and shapely produce fit for a queen. In the dairy department, she chooses Greek yogurt and grass-fed milk, then complains about the lack of mirrors and beauty products. At the checkout, the cashier asks for the secret to her perfect skin. Make sure a god, or at least a professional baseball player, sleeps with your mother. Never eat eggs. Keep away from feathers and birdseed. I'm allergic and hate the sound I make when I sneeze. She pushes strands of hair back over a shell-shaped ear, a gift from Poseidon, hums to herself, hurries out to her car, checking the sky for odd-shaped clouds, passing arrows, a disturbance of air. This next poem is called You Get Three Wishes. It's no use thinking the genie that just popped out of the lamp you found at the garage sale will grant you another wish. The old woman with the snaggle tooth warned you, don't bring it back here, Sonny. But you thought it was a real bargain, coming like it did with three wishes and its own immortal. Too bad when you asked for an extra wish, it was against the rules. Now you've traded places with the ex-genie, curled up on the couch with his hand up your wife's t-shirt, the other hand holding the remote. And you wonder if the next time someone rubs the lamp, will he want a second chance, a new kidney, two pink lungs, or to turn back time and escape from inside that hunk of tarnished brass? This poem is called The Sweater and dedicated to my grandmother. Today I noticed a thread unraveling on the sleeve of a shirt. I think of my grandmother and a sewing box crammed with needles and thread. A proud, lifelong member of the International Lady Garment Workers Union, she kept a membership card with the citizenship papers and the photo of my grandfather in his hand-sewn shirt next to her bed. Yet I knew she worked in harsh conditions at a time when clothing was made in the USA and immigrant women worked long hours in poorly lit factories with no ventilation. America had its own sweatshops. Children worked in warehouses instead of going to school. A survivor of the genocide, she walked through the desert from Armenia to Lebanon before coming to America. At a funeral, I sat holding a favorite sweater, a worn wool cardigan I brought home from the hospital, the two top buttons missing, as absent as her voice. This poem is called Fog One Dreamy Night. They say fog obscures the light sight, visibility 0 or less. The night I drove to your house along the coast, even the sudden appearance of a riderless white horse on the road, like something out of a Luis Buñuel film, its muffled hoof sounds matching my heartbeats, couldn't mask the picture of you in my mind, waiting by the window, letting the fog waft in to surround you, white as your skin, the earth's steamy breath, the weather of your cinema. And I'd like to close with a poem that appeared in Third Wednesday online in July of 2024, and then in the print fall issue. This is called Martha Stewart Invents My Kitchen. She's all business as she steps through the door, cleaning the counters of forgotten appliances, empty cereal boxes, and takeout cartons. She washes the dishes, empties the fridge, and sweeps the floor until the kitchen is as tidy as a jail cell. When I ask her when I can start cooking, she smiles and says, never. like a blind date that went on too long. All day and half the night, she chops vegetables, grates cheese, whips cream, and kneads bread, filling dish after dish, readying a banquet for a dozen guests or more. When she finishes, I help her carry everything out to her car. What now? I ask, sneaking a cookie behind her back. You're on your own, she says, but keep that kitchen clean or I'll be back. Typical Jersey girl, I think. Glad to see her go and have the kitchen to myself, the happy chef of catastrophe. Thank you so much, David and Third Wednesday Magazine, for this opportunity to read. Good night.
And that was Michael Minassian reading for Third Wednesday Magazine. This is Dave Gibson wishing you a good evening. Goodbye.